up, everyone? Chris Wagner, Team Honeycutt, Allen Tate Realtors. We work really hard to bring everyone some good content and good information out there. Today we're talking about appraisals, and we're talking about appraisals from a seller standpoint. So let's imagine we've got a house on the market, $200,000. We contract on that house at $200,000, and a lot of times the next question is, well, what's the next step? Well, that buyer's lender, if they're financing, they're going to order an appraisal. That's the way they protect their interest on the property. They're only going to loan on the amount that the property appraised for. So the next question we get from the sellers a lot of times, the obvious question is, what if that home doesn't appraise? And that's a very good question. First, we need to understand the nature of an appraisal. An appraisal is just an opinion from that appraiser that day. There's no exact science. They're looking at comparable properties in the area that have sold. Well, an appraiser can be subjective in looking at those properties, and a lot of times you could send 5 different appraisers to the same home and you're going to get a different number every time. I know that sounds strange, I know that doesn't sound right, but that's what it is. It's just an opinion for that day. Typically, they're going to all be close to each other as far as an appraisal price because they're looking at those comparable properties. But the bank has to protect their interest, and that's the way they do it. So the next question would be, well, what happens if that appraisal is short? It comes in short. We contract, let's say, at $200,000 and that property comes in at $195,000. What does the seller do next? Well, they have a few options. The first option would be, no, we're not going to sell the property at $195,000. We contracted at $200,000. Even though that's an option, that's not the best option because 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, the buyer's not going to pay more than the appraised value. The lender's not going to loan on the property more than that appraised value. So if you take that route, most of the time that property is going to fall through, that contract's going to be terminated. The other option is to get a second appraisal if the buyer's lender will allow that. And if you go that route, that's typically going to be a seller expense where they pay for an appraisal and it may or may not come in higher, and the buyer's lender may not accept that appraisal. The best option when the appraisal comes in short is to look for a compromise, renegotiate the terms of the contract, and get that price down to the appraised value, because at the end of the day, if it's FHA financing or VA financing, that appraisal is going to stick for about 6 months anyway. Conventional is a little bit different. But keep that in mind. Anytime you sell a house, that's how an appraisal works. Those are the steps that have to be taken. Hope that helps.